regroup, let's resupply. But unfortunately didn't work out in their favor as much as we would have liked it to.
Yeah.
But still a great game.
All right.
And the Greg is back, so hopefully both sisters feeling better today.
For sure.
Earth team, Fire team has taken the lead. Earth team has taken
So yeah, you see red so quick across the third and second floor. So unfortunately they had both of those spots instantly.
Looks like Loki
they have a
is
flank coming up the ramp
in this game, and instead of Sad and Tucker.
Yep. So yeah, as we kind of look through, Green Medic, three lives out, so not too much damage done, but Ghost getting the finger gun start at Medic here.
Fire team has taken the lead.
Does look like
Fire team has taken the lead.
Gonna be sitting pretty in that cubby for a little bit of time there.
Blown away.
Just staring right down at the camera.
Maybe you heard us talking about him yesterday. You're just like, you know what? I'm just gonna stare at the casters.
Exactly.
Oh man, tough missile going downstairs. You see the whole screen on the left side was just full red. So green, all single digit lives. This is very reminiscent of like kind of the Loveland B situation, but again, they were able to like regroup and just get all their lives back, and shots back.
Watch your fire and check your targets. Do it.
Fire team is leading by 2,900 points.
So heavy getting lives there, getting off crit, but just simply okay holding on to that nuke. Doesn't have bases, so probably looking here for that double stack. It is going to decimate green team, unfortunately, but still tough spot to be in, regardless. But I am still liking what Sunbeams is doing, bringing to the table. Like, even though they're downstairs, they're getting kicked around. You can kind of see still competing. Medic isn't as low as I would have expected with everything that happens as Diablo gets that nuke off. But the other part of this, though, as they kind of set up resupply shop, is being able to resupply efficiently downstairs. So still liking the Sunbeams, though, as they kind of move forward and still continue to build this synergy with their team. We just got done talking about it. It's like it's really hard to take that hybrid team and really do work, so to speak. I will say, though, shout out to Team USA in 2014 and 2018. So, like, we had a crazy hybrid situations there. It took us a little bit of time to kind of gel. We weren't really used to like attacking styles, defense styles, resup styles. And it was kind of like everyone was just assuming what was going to happen versus we, started voicing kind of what we were going to do, and we kind of kicked up shape there and, fought valiantly to that end of third place. But it is never easy with the hybrid team. But again, as they kind of play on more, they get these pod games in. I do expect them to continue to just get better, and then as they kind of take this experience with them in future tournaments, you can kind of see that growth of understanding of how that hybrid dynamic works in case they're on another hybrid team, or even like the skill that they can take back to the members nights as they kind of prepare for some of these coastal tournaments coming up. But yeah, still loving it. And then hopefully El Diablo taking that back, to Germany and instilling that in some there. Maybe we can get that European tournament going either in the UK or, Germany somewhere.
just trying to set some stuff up behind the scenes here if you want to keep cranking.
Yeah, no worries.
Team is trailing by
The only rough spot about this
8,800
is I noticed that the resupplies weren't doubles outside of the one to Satyrs, so it looks like they're together now with El Diablo, but still rough when you're split like that and you can't efficiently get resupply. You kind of see them getting kicked out right there. You see Grack, you see Satyrs there. We're stuck on the second floor. They don't hold the third floor, so Satyr's coming out too far, getting baited there around the corner. Nice shot from downstairs though. That is a great shot. If you're tall enough to hit that shot from the first floor up to that ramp going up to third on green side. Fortunately, Cedars having to be forced downstairs.
All right, we got 7 canisters of CN20. So we roll
UK mentioned, I love that. Yeah, man, I love the UK players as well. So I've played a little bit of Armageddon here. I've always said I was never going to be an Armageddon player, but I got conned into it for 3 years. 4 times, I think, 3 golds and a silver. But met a lot of incredible players across the globe. So from Sweden, from the UK, from Germany. So obviously Brisbane, Australia, New Zealand. But yeah, the UK players, I'm always fascinated talking with them. So multiple systems, some weird systems, some force, zone, Qzar, quest even. So a little bit of a full batch there, but I'm open to any arena in Europe. So I love pretty much everything about Europe. I haven't been back for some time. I'd like to go back sooner rather than later. I haven't been back since, or I haven't been over there since, pre-COVID. So
Coming up after this this very short break, we have Loveland Phoenix going back in against St. George Sunbeams. Good showing by the Phoenix in this tournament. Surprised, well, maybe surprised. Maybe anyone outside of Loveland didn't think they were going to be quite as dominant as they have been, but they've had a good tournament.
Definitely. I mean, I did pick them after the whole losing all my money on Syracuse. I did pick them, the first couple rounds there. In their tough games where they had, playing against their B team, playing Cedar City. I did pick them. I thought it was going to be a smaller margin than what it was, but it was a Elam. So, yeah, they're looking great. It's just like, there's always the curse of like the undefeated team for you to drop one game you're unexpecting, but we'll see if they avoid that curse and if they head into bracket play undefeated.
Yeah. Rusty, you've seen a lot of this Loveland Phoenix team kind of grow up over the last, let's say, decade almost. Have you got some standouts from that Loveland Phoenix team?
Look, it's always been Josiah.
Yeah.
For me, like, he's always just had so much potential to just shit on everybody.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, he got off track a little bit. Maybe took things that happened in the game a little bit too much to heart, and maybe didn't give as much effort as I wish he had, which he could have done all the time. But when you see him play a good game and he's engaged and focused, like I reckon he's their best player.
Yeah,
by a mile. And then Mischief, he was like just consistently consistent, but he took it up a notch in Auckland. I think he learnt a ton from just playing in a completely different arena and being on that particular team, having a bit more responsibility, and he looks like he's pumping. I remember Sergeant Tucker from 2015, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen him play since, but it looks like they've got a pretty good balanced team. Like, smart resupply, knows where to go if they get kicked, from what I could see. And you just let Mischief and Fair Turkey do a lot of the heavy lifting, but like Simply OK's pumping as well, right?
Very
and Ghost, I
fast.
saw some really good scores from him.
Yeah, very fast, very short. Reminds me a little bit of maybe like an Anarchy, or maybe not quite as quick as the like the King brothers, but like has that kind of similar like speed in the arena, which I think is real important in this one. Kind of darts around like a pinball.
Like something I like to check, and I think it is a huge factor in most outcomes, is hit diff. And I just noticed like Ghost and Simply OK had amazing hit diffs from memory.
Yeah.
And I think that can make the difference between winning and losing if it's a tight game, right? Because the less you get shot, the less points you give away. But you still have to be productive, right? You can't sit in a corner and come up with 2 hit diff and get $4,000. It's not going to work. But they seem to be in the thick of things and contributing really well. I'm just having a look now, actually. Like, Fair Turkey 1.31, Mischief 1.25. Ghost 1.43, Simply OK 1.47. Like that's really good across your attacking positions, and then of course Loki and Tucker are doing great because I'm guessing there's a lot less pressure on them because everybody else is just pumping them for them, which some easy resets. So no, that's a big thing. Hit diffs huge. They seem to be doing really well with it. And Kadama, he's only been playing 3 hit, right? 1.34. That's
great as a hit.
Really good.
Yeah. If you can get over that
1.34
right?
is heavy is outstanding.
Yeah.
That's really, really, really good.
Yeah.
So that was a really long answer to Josiah and Mischief.
I mean, it's funny that me and you both picked the same player, so kind of the same mindset.
Well, it just
there.
was like personally playing against him. Like, I'd come around, he'd shoot me, or I might get him, or then he'd get me again. And the way he angles his body, and he's just so quick at moving, like. It's frustrating to play against him.
Yeah.
But then he, for whatever reason, let's say the game went bad the previous game, and you just see him walking around, not even trying. And for those that have played with me, even on Monday nights in Brisbane, I get really annoyed if people stop playing and give up because it ruins the game for whoever team they're playing on. And then it also just ruins the game for the team that's trying to win because it's like you kind of win by default.
We talked a lot about it in the lead up, like the last couple of days, just the maturity that Loveland site as a whole, but specifically, the Fair Turkey and the Phoenix, it's leaps and bounds from where they were, and it's kind of transformed them into a really elite side. So it's awesome to see.
Getting to host the Nats in 2015, and they were all kids then, right?
Yep.
And they all have stuck with it. So they got to see how proper Space Marines could be played in their arena. I'm sure they were putting it together, but it would have been next level. I'm pretty sure they finished last in that Nats, right? Or close to it in their own arena. Like it's
almost a rite of passage.
It was rough for them from memory. Yeah, well, exactly. And here we are 9 years later. They've all been traveling. They play all the time. They've got a really good base of membership, from what I can tell. Like, I see the photos of them all going out for food and catching up and amazing, right? Like, so they deserve to be in this position and have a really good base. And it's great that certain players have been able to get to a level where they can carry, right? It's really good. Well, is that sad? Is it just ran in that?
Sad is in the fortress at the
very
moment.
Aggressive. That was a very ambitious plan to try and get a medikit. I like it.
She's actually been had a really good tournament. Showing a lot of talent.
Heavy. I thought she was a scout. Yeah, nice. That was I mean, because if it works, like if you actually get lucky and someone accidentally resupplies their 3-hit or something, then
Yeah, you're right there.
she's gonna be in and smash him.
Yeah.
You can't just continue to do it. It's not going to work
Fire team
as
has
often as
taken
you'd
the
like.
lead.
But
Yeah, here comes Luke. Cedar's managed to repel Luke so far, keeping him out of the resupply, but there's 5 of them stuck up there in the fortress, and he manages to break her now. So, rough spot for them to be in. They're going to shoot down the switchback ramp and eat a lot of shots from Mischief.
oh, that's just the dream as a heavy, just being able to just reset, get a couple of missiles off.
Yeah, so
Yeah, he's
coming
bumped.
back to where they placed, it looked like middle of the pack. So there was way more teams than I remember in 2015. 2, 3, 4, 5. So Loveland A finished 6th, and Loveland B finished 8th. And then out of 10 teams. So huge growth for them to come from that to where they are now.
Mischief's got himself 4,300 points in the first 5 minutes of this game as a heavy with no bases. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good start to this one from him.
Yep.
Yep.
And then Go sitting on 19 lives still. So
Earth team is
Yeah,
ahead by
massive.
4,000 points.
Yeah, when you look at a scoreboard like this, you know the game's heading in the wrong direction.
Yeah. Rockwood's died out.
Oh, they still
Ah.
got 12 lives on
Yeah.
the medic though, but I know.
Rockwood dying out hurts.
Yeah.
But he has
I'm
died
looking
out
at,
pretty consistently early.
Yeah.
As a scout, that is kind of unforgivable.
I agree. Unless
There's
your
absolutely
teams
no
get
shot that scout should be dying before anybody.
Ghost having a bit of
Anyone.
fun in the bottom right hand corner. Stop looking at us. I hate it. Yeah, it's tough. Like I can understand if if the team has a bunch of pressure on them, but the resupply were holding reasonably good in that fortress area for a long time. Like you say, you really need to get back and get resupply as a scout. Hopefully you can sort of milk another 3 minutes out of the game if that's the case, but unfortunate.
Not that I like to dwell on the past, but the scouts dying last year in Auckland was something I think about from time to time.
Whose scouts died out?
In the last game, we ended up losing. I was the last person alive as heavy, which is unacceptable.
I unfortunately was in the emergency room, so I missed all of that.
Yeah, you weren't there for that.
Here comes,
Oh, there's a.
simply okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, mischief's pumping. Oh no, I was just gonna say there was this one thing that DK shared, and there's like that screen grab. I think I've spoken about it before of like the scoreboard, and it's like I'm heavy, and I have the most lives on my team, and the medic's dead.
Irritating.
Like that
Irritating.
summarized the whole thing. Oh, very much so. All I needed was like a JFK or Basil to have, more lives than me, and I think we would have been okay. But
Yeah.
Scouts, moral of the story: get more lives, don't
Yeah.
die. The end.
Getting resupply is the equivalent of getting travel insurance. You're avoiding calamity.
As a scout, don't leave home without it. Yeah, that's right. And look at this guy. We got the ammo is still alive.
Yeah. It takes
The ammo and the heavy.
That's a weird combo. Yeah.
it
Team
takes
is leading by 13,000 points.
so little resupplies to fill up a scout. Like you really need to be going back and making the most of your time back in the resupply.
Let's rock.
I think that's the most frustrating thing is when you look. I mean, no one's perfect, right?
Yeah.
We've all had an early scout death at some point in our a gameplay. Oh, it'll probably happen to me this Monday now that I've spoken about it. But it really is one of the positions that you shouldn't die earlier.
Yeah. I think maybe we've seen it a little bit, and it's hard to know without kind of being there. But maybe some of the teams, or maybe Loveland's one of those mazes that like a good kind of rotation in and out of the resupply doesn't make as much difference as I normally would think. But I mean, that can't be the case. There's no way that's the case.
No, not as a scout. Like,
Yeah.
5 resupplies, 40 seconds, you're out. Like,
Part of that, and by rotation, I mean, how well both scouts are kind of in and out of the resupply at different times, rather than both coming back and freaking out because nobody's getting resupply, or the doubles aren't happening, or however, it kind of works out. The outcome there, pretty much as we expected. Loveland Phoenix comfortably taking the win over Sunbeams.